Yay, the kids are finally asleep.
So do you feel like...
Playing a game?
I've got a feeling a boss fight's coming up.
Ooh, I just got wrecked.
Headshot, baby.
Ooh, it's your turn to get the baby.
So are you up to the challenge?
Run, 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 run.
And we're dead.
That's when I realized I have no idea what I'm doing.
GG. Welcome back to another episode of the KJ After Dark Gamer Parents Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I am joined by my wonderful wife, Joanne.
Hello, hello.
Episode number 25. And if you're new here, Joanne and I are husband and wife. We have 2 kids. We talk about games and life here on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the latter, life.
Yeah.
How are things going? I know we've had a lot happen since our last recording, so we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really specific, just a lot of stuff, I feel like.
I know.
Obviously we took a little trip of our own with the family. Let's go ahead and share some about that, I guess.
Sure. We went to Colorado, go up there to the mountains. I know most people go there for like skiing and stuff, but we thought we'll just head up to the mountains to escape the heat of Texas and enjoy some family time together with the cool air. And
yeah, just escaping the heat in and of itself was probably worth it.
yeah.
Especially as it's been like 100 degrees here, and I'm not really excited about getting back into those temperatures. Man, but it was so nice in Colorado, and
It was.
the weather was perfect. I mean, it rained a little bit, but other than that, it was just about perfect.
Yeah.
And plus, going to a ski town in the summer, it's out of season, so things are a little bit cheaper than normal, but still a lot of fun things to do. What all did we do? We did a lot of hiking.
Yep.
We took a boat out on the lake.
Oh, that was beautiful. We had a picnic on the boat in the middle of the lake.
Yeah, that's right. The kids loved that one.
Yeah, we even like spent time in the hot tub when it was like super cold in the evening.
Yeah, only once, unfortunately. Got a little bit of pool time. Oh, that's not really that crazy or special. We went to town a lot.
Yeah,
It's
we did.
Breckenridge, Colorado, and a lot of restaurants, a lot of, quite a few bars.
Yeah, I think a couple bars, didn't we? I don't know.
They have a brewery, they have a winery,
Mhm.
tons of, gift shop type stores, so lots of souvenirs. They even have a Christmas store,
Yeah.
which was cool, because it's just, Christmas store in July,
Yeah.
which we did buy something. So one of the things that Joanne and I like to do, everywhere we go, we like to buy an ornament for the tree come Christmas time.
Not everywhere we go, but everywhere we travel
Well,
to.
yeah, so like vacation destinations, I
Yeah.
should say, not like everywhere we go.
Yeah. It'd be weird.
So we picked one up that says Breckenridge,
Mhm.
and so that's going on the tree this year.
Yeah.
Along with the ones from other places that we have, our other vacation spots.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cool tradition that we call it, just to add ornaments to the trees from all the holidays, right?
Yes, exactly. So what else did we do in town? Do you remember?
Let's see. I know I especially enjoyed taking the kids to that, what's that name? It's like a ship or boat. I don't know. It's also on top of a lake, like a giant restaurant. Ollie's, I think.
Yeah, it's like the boat that they converted to a restaurant. It doesn't
Yeah.
actually go anywhere.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
That was cool. Yeah.
That was pretty cool because
With a window view where we could see the water and everything. And
we can see a golden retriever playing fetch with its owner.
yeah, everyone's just having a good time out there, including us, especially us.
Oh, and we enjoyed some axe
There
throwing.
we go. That's what I was trying to get you to remember. That
This
was
is
a lot
so
of fun.
amazing. Yeah.
There is this place where you can do axe throwing, and it's not like, oh, you pay like $15 and you throw 3 axes at a board. Like, no, it's like you get a coach and you can do it for like 30 minutes at a time or like an hour at a time.
Mm-hmm. But 30 minutes was plenty.
Yeah,
for
they take
the
you
two
to
of
like
us.
your own area, and even like Joanne and I, it was just us. We didn't take the kids to this. Obviously, they're too little, but we each got like our own like lane. Like I don't know what you call those. We had our own space, I guess is probably how I could say it, with our own boards and our own axes.
Yeah.
And we just got to just go ham on those things and just throw as many axes as we could in a 30-minute period, which, trust me, that seemed like it was plenty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot more tiring than like bowling or something, I feel like.
I think it's about the same. I mean, it's like different body parts. This is definitely more the shoulder part because we like use both hands to throw it over from behind our heads.
Yeah.
Throwing the axe over. And there's a video and some pictures of it. You can check it out on our Instagram page at KJ_after_dark.
Yeah, I'm actually proud of those pictures. I'm very rarely proud of any of like my own pictures, but like the video of me throwing those axes like made me feel like somebody from out of a video game.
I know, and bear in mind, like we were like having withdrawals, not being able to game because we're not at home. Obviously, we don't have our computers, and I thought that axe throwing was kind of like in real life gaming, the closest we could get to.
Yeah, and to be honest, I didn't really want to do it at first. Like I was kind of just going along with it because you wanted to go do it.
Yeah.
And ended up being really happy we did because I really liked how it was set up, where it wasn't even that expensive. I think it comes out to be like $30 for the 30 minutes, which was
per person. Yeah.
Plenty. That was plenty.
It was plenty.
Anyways, I thought it was gonna be kind of like a ripoff. Plus, us having a coach like dedicated to like, showing us how to do it and like doing it the right way and all that. Mm-hmm. And so that part was really cool too. But it was the way it was done I really liked. So that was a really good time.
Yeah, I was nervous at first when I said I wanted to go there because I didn't want it to be like $15 for 3 axes and then that's it. But
yeah, I was thinking like what I've seen at like carnivals or the Renaissance Fair before.
Yeah,
like, that's how I thought it was going to be for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad it wasn't.
Yeah, I'm glad. Like at first I was like, okay, 30 minutes, would that be enough? And then the guy in the front desk was like, yeah, there'll be plenty, trust me. And then like the first 10 minutes, I'm like, how long has it been? And then the coach was like, 10 minutes. Like, seriously? We have 20 more minutes?
Well, I mean, we threw a lot of axes because each of us got 2 and you throw those.
Yeah.
You go pick them up, you throw them again, you go pick them up, you throw them again, and you end up just like throwing lots of axes. So 30 minutes of that, like over and over and over again, was plenty. It was a lot.
It was satisfying though. I mean, I really like that part where I hit the same spot twice. Like both my axes got stuck in the same crack. I don't know.
Yeah. They're like wedged together.
Yeah, wedged together.
In the same spot on the board. And we even took a picture of that. That one's cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering like where we could set up a axe board in our garage or backyard or something.
Probably.
Just to kind of like have our own, setup. That would be cool. Although not something that's suitable for a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old to be around.
I know, yeah. As long as we don't throw it like beyond the fence and hurts our neighbors.
I mean, the fence is made out of wood, right? So we can just use that. Fine.
I know, right?
We'll just repair the fence when we're done.
Yeah, well, that was fun. I know the boating was like the highlight.
It was cool. It was just a pontoon boat, so it was like very slow.
Yeah,
but like,
and big enough to have a picnic on.
It was still cool. Like we don't need a speedboat to have fun. We just went out there and enjoyed the nice weather and had sandwiches and beer and just relaxed.
Yep, it was awesome. And then what else? I know I really enjoyed checking out the tap house with you and the brewery.
Yes, I'm always into checking out like local stuff.
Yeah,
when it comes to like breweries and kind of seeing what they have, because you'll most likely never find that like anywhere else too far away, especially if it's just like kind of like a small brewery type place.
Yeah.
So that was fun, and it turned out to be really good. It's called Broken Compass.
I actually like that stout you have. So it's like
I love stouts. Yeah, that was really cool too. What else did we do in town? There was a cool 4th of July parade.
Our kids first.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of neat. It's like nice. It just kind of goes right through town, like where we're already like hanging out and stuff. So they like close the roads and a bunch of, they're not even, well, I guess some of them are kind of like floats.
Well, there's also that. I know you didn't get to see them, but I saw them like during the rehearsal. They had like these vintage cars that were decorated and horses as well. But
Yeah, I wish I could have gotten to see that. That would have been pretty cool. And then they threw candy out to everybody, so our
know.
3-year-old got a little bit of candy.
I know
Not a ton, but a little bit.
yeah, he liked those.
It's mostly like local businesses, it seemed like, or groups or organizations that were going through.
It's a small place, but
Yeah, it was
still
not a
cute.
big parade, but it was cool. It was something. At least we got to have something on 4th of July. So I guess they don't do fireworks there anymore, but they have in past years. So we didn't get to see any fireworks.
Maybe because of
there.
all the forest fires there or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they've had some fires recently, so they don't do those fireworks anymore because of that. Even though it was super rainy and it probably would have been fine. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
But we did get to see some fireworks though on the way back from the airport.
Going back to Texas, I think we flew back, the day after 4th of July?
Yes, we did.
So when we were driving back home from the airport, we saw like a few random fireworks go off in the sky, which was really cool because we had not got to see any fireworks for 4th of July. And then some group decided to do some the day after 4th of July, and we're glad they did because then we got to see some fireworks.
Yeah, got your fix. Because you only get to
Yeah,
see them
I
twice a
literally
year.
was
anyways.
like already thinking like, oh, we didn't get to see any fireworks this year, and then day after 4th of July we got to see some. So
I know.
that was perfect.
Yep. And then what else did you like about vacation?
I really liked the hiking. That was one of my favorites,
Oh yeah.
and we didn't really get to do much of that till like towards the end, like we were doing all the other bigger stuff and exploring the town and everything.
Yeah.
And then I realized like right backed up to where we were staying, so like we could go one direction to town, or the other direction is basically like a mountain, and there's like a whole bunch of hiking trails that take you like all throughout and up towards the mountain area. And there's a big map that shows like all the different trails and all their difficulties. And it was, I think you had to stay with Faith, right, the 1-year-old?
Yeah, a 1-year-old kind of like fell and hurt herself or something.
She was not in hiking spirits, and especially only being 1-year-old. That's a lot on her, obviously.
It was
And
so
she would
cute
honestly
though.
end up being carried most of the time. So
I know, but it was so cute to see like all the grass being taller than her as she like try and hike herself. She didn't
it's
want me
it's
to hold
she's
her
basically
hands.
playing grounded. Where
Oh,
she's
yeah,
tiny
exactly.
And all these plants and trees are like huge compared
Huge.
to her.
And I was trying to hold her hands and she refused.
She's kind of stubborn like that.
No, she's independent, like her mom.
So it just ended up being me, our 3-year-old, and my parents that like hiked like pretty good ways at least. I mean, we think it took maybe like an hour or two.
Yeah.
Not too long of a hike.
Not too long.
But our 3-year-old really impressed me. He did a great job.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
pretty much walked the entire way. Part of the way he wanted to be on my shoulders, which of course that ended up happening. So he have to walk the entire way, but he did a pretty awesome job.
yeah, I bet in a couple of years our 1-year-old would catch up with him too.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a kind of about it for our trip this last week and kind of what we've been up to on the life side. Is there anything else to add? We didn't really play a lot of games, and we've been back for a few days, so we have a little bit, I guess, to tell on that. You were literally just playing some Lost Ark right before we started recording, although not a whole lot.
Yeah. I need a vacation from vacation. Honestly, as parents, when you go on vacation, it's not really a vacation. It's more like taking care of your kids while being in a different place. But I guess
Yeah.
like having the grandparents around really helped because that's how Kevin and I get to do our X throwing, our bar hopping sessions and hot tub sessions. So I guess that counts for a break, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I think for me it's a lot different than for you too, because you know you're taking care of the kids when we're here at home a lot more than me, just because I'm at work.
Oh
And
yeah.
then when we're on vacation, there's still a lot of taking care of the kids. So I feel like it obviously follows you there. Whereas I feel like I get to really disconnect from work and just spend more time with you and the kids that I don't get to see as much during the week. So
That's
I
true.
think vacation for me is a lot different than it is for you.
Yeah, but I mean, like the travel back itself, being on the plane and stuff, it's just
Yeah,
like
the
a
travel
lot.
days are tough, especially because where we were was like 2 hours away from an airport. So it's not just, oh, we're just going to drive to the airport and leave. It's
Yeah.
a good drive to and from each airport,
Plus,
really.
plus, it's like a day after 4th of July. You're definitely like gonna see a lot of people like at the airport. It's not just an empty airport.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think it was that busy, but I mean, it wasn't. It was still busy, but I don't think it was like insanely busy. But as far as gaming for me, obviously while we were gone, it was a little bit of Hearthstone. I'm actually picking up quite a few mobile games right now, like probably more than the average. Normally it's just Hearthstone, but now it is Stream Beat. No,
Beat
what am I thinking about?
stars.
BeatStar. There we go. Sorry,
Stream beat.
BeatStar that I mentioned last week.
Yeah.
That is a music rhythm game,
Touch the
and
music.
it's on your phone, and you touch. There's like three different like lanes, I guess, and as the notes come down, you have to touch them at the right times in the right orders. Some of them you like sustain notes, or you use like there's some of them are arrows, and you have to like flick your finger up, down, left, or right.
Yeah.
And then some songs are really easy, some songs are really tough.
Mhm.
And as you go through and get more points, and you can unlock new songs and everything, and you can also compete with your friends, which is that's the part that I really like, because it's like I always want to beat somebody else's score. I guess it's the competitive part of me.
Yeah.
So like
Super competitive.
that's like the number one reason why I'm playing the songs that I'm playing, is so that I can like beat somebody else's score.
I
So
know.
yeah. And plus, a lot of it's a big variety of songs, so like they do a pretty good job at that. Like regardless of like whatever kind of music you like, there's something in there for you,
Mhm.
and you can like kind of pick towards what songs like you unlock depending on like what genre you want. So that's kind of cool too.
I think it's really, what do you call it? Like there's a whole variety of genre in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few. There's not a whole lot. It's like hip hop, pop, alternative,
Rock.
and that's it. And then there's like latest hits or something, which
But that's
that's not
still
really
a
a genre.
lot. I mean, normally I hear you listen to like alternative rock, right? And then suddenly now I'm listening to like pop music and hip hop being played, and I'm like, geez, these are the songs I used to listen to, and now
Yeah, I
Kevin's
mean
listening to
it's
them.
mostly because I want to get like a higher score on those songs. Or do you mean outside of the game that you're hearing them?
Outside of the game, you
Yeah,
play them on Alexa.
there's a few songs in there that like I wouldn't normally listen to those. I'd probably never come across them, but I'm like, hey, this is kind of a good song. I kind of like this. Then I'll play it like sometimes outside of the game too.
Hmm.
But one thing that I've noticed is if you don't have that stable of network connection or that kind of thing,
Oh yeah.
like that's not a good game for that. And I just noticed at times, like sometimes when like the internet's a little bit like choppy, it doesn't register like
Your touch, yeah.
you hitting the notes, especially like when you did it. And I know people are gonna say this like all the time, like when they blame their internet or something of why they do bad. But this I know this for a fact. Like these ones, I'm definitely hitting it at the right time and everything, and it just doesn't even register it at all. It's not even like that I was just off on the time and it was just like way too late or early.
Yeah.
It was like doesn't even register at all. And this is a game where like if you miss a single note, then the
You're
song is
out.
over. Like you're out. Get out of here. So you can't miss a single note. So that sometimes that happens like even on the easiest songs at the very beginning or whenever, it doesn't matter. And that'll just happen. And for some reason, like I'm not like an angry person.
I
Like,
know,
I don't
he
have
gets
like anger
so
problems, but like
frustrated.
it's something that's completely out of my control, just because like my phone like decided to like freeze there for like half a second.
Yeah.
And then I completely lose because of it.
I was just gonna say, I've never seen Kevin so upset over a game. I was like, hey, that's usually me when I'm playing Hearthstone against you, and now you're just like, what?
Yeah, just like a short, like momentary upset that I get, and I'm just like, no.
And then you
Like,
rage
why?
quit.
No, I try again, and then I hope that it doesn't happen again. And it usually doesn't like happen like multiple times in a row. Just when it does, it gets me. It really gets me.
It does get you big time.
So that's Beat Star, which I'm still playing a little bit, but I've backed off of it a lot, definitely. Just as it gets harder and harder to unlock more songs, it just requires more and more. And it feels like you really want to progress, you have to like spend some cash, which I'm not wanting to do. And then another game that I've been playing some recently after that one is what is it called? Rush Royale. It's kind of like a tower defense, but you can do like a PvP version and like a co-op
Oh yeah,
version.
that's the one I saw you play.
I think it's made by the same people as Clash Royale, which is another game that came out a few years ago. It feels very similar, except it's kind of like a tower defense versus like a, I don't even know what to call Clash Royale. But anyways, you get like different units that you use in the game as like a different, I guess like towers. They're not really towers. They're like mages and different people, and they do different things, and you can upgrade them. And there's like really short matches that you can play through, and it's kind of fun. It's very short. I don't think I'm going to play that one that long. I can tell like things will slow down definitely as it gets more and more costly to upgrade what you have. Like at some point it's going to feel like things have to slow down so much it's not really worth playing anymore. So I think that game will be short-lived, but for now it's pretty fun.
Okay, so that means that repeatability is low.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've gotten to the point like I know myself well enough now, especially with certain games that we play, and especially mobile games. Hearthstone, I think, is the only game that like I have never stopped completely playing. All the other ones, like, okay, it's fun kind of until a certain point, and then I don't know, like diminishing returns or something. Or like the longer I play it, the less and less fun it gets. Whereas like Hearthstone always like renews every time there's like an expansion and a bunch of new stuff.
So I'm like Hearthstone to you.
You are the eternal flame, yes.
Oh,
Never die out. That's kind of it as far as mobile. Since we've gotten back, I got in a little bit of Vampire Survivors, which is a game I've been talking about the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just as they keep like doing new updates and adding a couple of things, and I haven't exactly collected everything. Although I've gotten a lot of like I've collected so much gold and stuff over the last few weeks. And you can buy like upgrades that you kind of take into each run with you, so it makes each run like easier. And so now I'm kind of at the point where I have so many of those upgrades that like it's pretty easy to like complete a run, which is like 30 minutes long basically.
Oh.
So like it's a lot less challenging. And
But you still played pretty long that day. You're like,
oh yeah, because each one I did like 2 runs and each one's 30 minutes, so it's
Gotcha.
basically an hour. But yeah, it's not as fun just because it's not as challenging anymore. And I don't know, maybe I just have to figure out ways to make it a little bit more difficult on myself. But I also that also makes me feel like I'm probably not going to be playing it that much longer. The fun's kind of dying down, so we'll figure out what we're going to do after that. We need to finish off Borderlands or something. We didn't.
Oh, I kept forgetting that we haven't
wrap
finished
that
it.
one up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I still have BioShock 2 that I'm playing. BioShock also, I should say, that I'm playing the first one of because it was free on the Epic Game Store a little while back. I don't know if I'm going to finish that game or not. I mean, I still have like 2 and then Infinite in the collection bundle. And like, I wanted to start with 1 and then do 2 and then Infinite. But I don't know if I'm going to finish everything. I don't really know like if I'm going to finish that first one, if I should just kind of skip on ahead to 2, or if I should just skip 2 altogether and go to Infinite. I've always heard that BioShock Infinite was really good. So maybe I'll just kind of skip along to that one and just will pretend that I finished the first 2. Don't tell anybody.
Speaking of BioShock, there's this Benny Bear thing posted on Discord
Oh yeah, saying what?
that she really liked Bioshock and she was agreeing or
Agreeing with your descriptions of Bioshock, or
yeah, and also that she was confirming that it was gonna be out on Netflix as well. So
I think it would be a much better show. At least for me, I think it would. I would enjoy that like style more as a show, and obviously this depends on how they do this as a show. But I think I enjoy like that kind of stuff more, like as a show or a movie than as a game. Because if you cover your eyes, the game stops. Right? If you cover your eyes and you don't play, like the game stops. Like you're not getting out of it. Whereas, like, not that I cover my eyes in movies or shows or anything, but it's like it'll pass, right? Like if it's a scary moment or a scary minute or time, those are kind of short lived. Like they come and go throughout the movie or the show. But like in a game, like you have to get yourself out of it, unless it's like a cutscene or something. That's different. But if it's like a scary game, like you have to
complete it basically.
Yeah, like you need to pull yourself out of that moment and like come through. By taking action. So
yeah, and she also said that Bioshock 4 is in the works right now. So
well, I'm not really finalizing my decision on what I think about Bioshock just after playing Bioshock 1. So I think I'm gonna skip to Infinite and then like see how I like that one. I mean, I'm sure it still has a lot of the same aspects that the one I'm playing now does, but maybe it'll just be like so much more fun that I won't really care about the other stuff, like the jump scare type stuff or like the weird creepiness. Like the fact that like it sometimes like gives me like goosebumps a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait and see once you play all of them.
I also still want to play Maneater, which was free a few weeks ago as well, like right I think after Bioshock, but on Epic Game Store. So that's kind of another one on my list. So I kind of want to speed through some stuff if I can, so I can try a little bit of everything. Because as parents, we just don't have that much time anymore.
I know. Is the essence.
All right, so that's what we've been up to in life and games.
So shall we move on to sharing what's new on Game Pass and what new games are out?
Sure. Why don't you run us through that?
Okay. So new games on Game Pass this past week is Last Call BBS, that's available on PC, and Solasta, Crown of the Magister, available on console and PC, and Yakuza 0, and Yakuza Kiwami, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. These three are available on console, PC, and cloud, but they're single players. And there's also Matchpoint Tennis Championships on console, PC, and cloud, DJ Max Respect 5, console, PC, and cloud, and Road 96 on console, PC, and cloud.
Okay, so new games on Game Pass. That's a lot that they've had.
I know,
and that's just like in the last 4 days.
It's all these games were out on July 5th and July 7th.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot. Obviously, it's a lot of Yakuza games that kind of all came out together, but still, it's a lot of games.
It is, and I was wondering if it's because yesterday was the National Video Games Day, or is it just purely coincidence? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what is it? July 8th was National Video Game Day. So
yep.
If you're a fan of video games, which I assume you are if you're listening to this podcast, then that's the day you definitely want to be playing video games, July 8th.
I know, but we did not play any yesterday, did we?
So, yeah, so here's the thing. We didn't know yesterday was National Video Game Day until today, when I just happened to notice that. So yesterday was one of the few days where we did not play any games. I'm sure I did something on mobile.
We died of exhaustion
during the day, but like the kids were asleep and we're tired. Like we'll record tomorrow night and then just like go to sleep, call it an early night, and like get rested. So yeah, we did not play any games together on.
Yeah, Kevin had 12 hours of sleep, y'all. Almost.
I was really tired though. So why?
Yeah. That's tired.
I definitely don't normally sleep that long. Normally
I
it's
know.
like 6 or 7, 8 maybe if I'm lucky.
So if you're not a gamer parent yet, I know there's a lot of gamer couples out there, but if you're not a gamer parent yet, be prepared to be super exhausted by the end of the day that you actually can't game.
Yeah, so back to the new games to Game Pass. Just since we're pretty focused on Game Pass ourselves, I was looking into some of those games, and Last Call BBS kind of looked more like a puzzle game. I'm pretty sure it wasn't even multiplayer, so I don't think we're gonna really look into that one too much. And then the Yakuza games, I know they're all single player.
Yep, I mentioned
But
that.
I don't know like how fun they are or much about them at all other than that. But they are single player, so I don't definitely not going to be like a game of the week thing for us that we play through together. And then DJ Max Respect 5, I looked into it a little bit, at least on through the Game Pass app, and there was like no video. All the images didn't really like show very much of like how the game works or anything. It is another music rhythm game, so maybe like something kind of like BeatStar,
like DJ.
Yeah, except it's mostly Korean. Is what I read.
Oh, interesting.
And I also read that for the first time in their franchise history, they now have online multiplayer.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, they discovered the internet for the first time in franchise history. So thought that was interesting. I don't know how if they've had.
You mean for the
games in
game or what?
Well, I guess this says franchise history. So I guess any game that they have developed so far, and this is DJ Max Respect like V. So I assume that's 5.
5.
So maybe the first 4 like never had any internet capabilities.
Maybe.
So I don't know. I don't know. It's Game Pass. So and I like rhythm games. Although I don't know how I feel about like. I don't know if I necessarily like Korean music.
Oh, BTS. They're pretty famous now in the US, you know?
I don't know if that's like what. I don't know if that means that necessarily.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it just says it's like Korean songs. I don't know if it's like arcade or gaming style like songs or just music in Korea.
Or K-pop.
Yeah, it could be K-pop, like a K-pop game. I don't know. I have no idea. And then obviously Match Point Tennis Championships is a tennis game.
Yeah,
That's about as much as I need to know. I've always liked playing sports, but I've never really liked sports games.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't know if anyone else is really like that.
Are you sure you like regular sports even?
I used to play tennis all the time in high school and college.
Oh,
I play like almost every single weekend with my friends, but when it comes to like a tennis video game, I'd be like I'd rather rather play something else like Call of Duty or Halo or other games than like a sports game usually. Racing games were pretty fun though, but I wouldn't really consider that like with other sports games. And then Road 96, the last one that you mentioned.
Yeah, what's that about?
It
Sounds
looked
like
it
a
looked
road
interesting.
thing.
I kind of liked the art style of it. It was like I don't know. I can't really explain it, but you could check it out if you're curious of what I mean by the art style. But it's a single player kind of like an adventure game where you're going through the story of somebody kind of obviously like they're traveling, and I guess you're just going like start to finish through the story. I don't really know how to explain it. I didn't really make a whole lot of sense out of the trailer, but it looked interesting.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I
to be honest,
didn't explain that very well. I didn't plan that.
Yeah, it's fine.
But again, also it's single player, so probably not the best for us.
Mm,
So that's the Game Pass games. Now we also have new game releases.
regular game releases.
Yeah, so these are just games that are now out new for the first time, at least on any particular console or platform.
Yeah.
And there is Arcade Get-In. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. It's literally Arcade Get-In.
Like Armageddon, but oh my gosh.
Get-In.
Buy me a soda, Jinx.
And like I feel like Arcade and like Armageddon doesn't really fit, but they like tried to force it to. Unless I'm just pronouncing it wrong and I'm just missing it completely. But anyways, Arcade Get-In.
Arcageddon. Ooh.
Maybe. I don't know, that might be a stretch. But it's on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And I looked up this one actually, and it kind of like reminded me of like a combination between like Fortnite and Borderlands. It's like a third person kind of semi like fairly cartoonish. Like the characters and weapons and stuff like reminded me of stuff out of Borderlands, but like the third person and like the surroundings and I guess the artwork of it kind of reminded me more of Fortnite.
I wonder if they have
I don't
the
think
same.
it's like battle royale style. It seemed like
okay.
it was more like co-op campaign, or I think you could also go play against your friends in like online multiplayer. But it looked pretty cool. Like I said, I think it might like looks kind of similar to like Borderlands or something. So we'll see if it comes to Game Pass or something. That would be cool. Another new game release is this one I was interested in, Gwent Rogue Mage. And so if you've never heard of Gwent
Witcher.
came from another game called Witcher, and Witcher 3 that we played. I don't know if Gwent was in the other, first two Witcher games. I have no idea, actually. It's I might have to look that up. But anyways, Witcher 3 we played the mess out of that game. And I remember they had Gwent inside. So like Witcher 3, you played as Geralt the Witcher, and you doing quests, saving everybody from the Wild Hunt, being the hero. And then there's also these cards you could collect. And you could build a deck, and you could play the cards against other people. Like throughout your adventures, like you'd run into people who also have these Gwent cards, and you could like play against them. And like at first, I ignored the whole Gwent thing for a long time because I was having fun, saving everybody as Geralt, the Witcher. And then I kind of was like, all right, let me try this Gwent thing out, and kind of got into Gwent and like collecting cards and like dueling other people with the cards. And it kind of got to the point where I was like, no, like everybody else needs to like just hold off and wait. Like I will save them in a minute here. Like I need to duel this innkeeper, right? And get his Gwent cards, because that is more important than saving everybody else from the Wild Hunt.
Yeah.
So I became a lot more focused on like the Gwent part of the game, which is not really, I mean, it's there to be played, but it's kind of more minor role compared to everything else. But I was just having so much fun playing Gwent in Witcher 3.
Yeah.
That I played a lot of Gwent inside that game too. So Gwent Rogue Mage as a standalone game, I think it's like $10 that it came out
really?
2 days ago. So I probably won't try it just because it's not free, but
it's only $10 though.
I know. But it's like we're already paying for Game Pass. We have so many free games there. And we don't have that much time. Although Gwent Rogue Mage is available on iOS and Android. So that is something I could play on my phone. But I feel like that's, I don't know, I'll have to look it up first and like see if it looks as fun as the old Gwent that I know and love. Kind of see if that will take my interest away compared to Hearthstone or something. But I still love Hearthstone, so I don't know.
No, Hearthstone is your eternal flame.
I know, it's true. I mean, I'm already so satisfied with Hearthstone. It's like, why look at anything else, So. But still, it does bring me back to fun times playing Gwent.
Yep.
And then Match Point, which is the same game that came out on Game Pass as I believe a day one release. Yes. And then another new game release. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. And then a game called Madison on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Switch, and PC.
What game is that?
I looked up this one, Madison, and I watched the trailer for about a minute and a half. I got goosebumps, and then I forgot about it until now. But this game, I listened to it without sound, and I got goosebumps.
What? So it's a horror thing?
Yeah, it's a horror game for sure. Like the image or logo, I guess it's not necessarily the logo, but like the image they have on their website, it's like a camera that's like on the ground and like some like scary hand on it. But I think you have like a camera that you can like flash, like that's how you see stuff, and you're in like this dark house. and you see like weird ghosts or like figures walking by, at the end of the hall, like as you go through, and the lights are flickering, and the lighting is like in any horror game, like horrible, like hardly see anything. Yeah. I mean, that's not one I'm ever going to play, ever.
Are you sure?
Unless somebody wanted to pay me $1 million to play it. Then we'll talk. But yeah, that's one I'd be like, nah, that's way worse than BioShock to me. It has like all the parts about BioShock that I dislike and like none of the parts that I like.
It has higher ratings though.
Has high ratings?
Yeah.
It just came out yesterday, so I mean,
but it's already like 96% of people like that video game, and it already has 160 reviews. Rating is 9 out of 10. So I don't know. It says it's a puzzle game too. So
a what game?
A puzzle
game.
I know.
Like,
it does not sound
complete the puzzle or you die.
I know, right?
Or yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's not really my kind of game, but I mean, a lot of people like scary games, so let them have what they want. If this is the game for them, so not for me.
I might want to play it. I don't know.
Yeah, you can try it.
It's a puzzle game. I love puzzle game.
It didn't look like a puzzle game to me.
It says it's a puzzle horror game set in your traditional haunted house.
If you could call Saw a puzzle movie.
That is true.
Then sure, but that's not the kind of I don't like those kinds of puzzles. So that's it for new game releases. Like maybe the arcade get-in. I don't really like the name. I'm not gonna say that like many times. I already know, but that's the only one that really looked kind of interesting to me. And then maybe Gwent, but I don't know. But that's it for new game releases. I did see NPD posted more about update to predictions for the video game industry for 2022. And one interesting bit was that Elden Ring is predicted to be the best-selling premium game in the US for 2022.
What?
Beating out Call of Duty, which, I mean, Vanguard had a lot of sales so far for 2022. Elden Ring didn't take long to blow that out of the water. I mean, I think Vanguard came out like late last year, which probably wasn't helping sales because that big boom was in 2021. And then Call of Duty, I think, is going to release Modern Warfare 2 later this year, but I think it's just going to be too late. It's probably not going to take the crown away from Elden Ring. And this will only be the third time since 2009 that a Call of Duty game did not lead in sales for the year. So good job to Elden Ring. I still have not played that game.
I know.
Although I want to. I really prefer From Software games on console. We're just stuck with a PS4 and I don't want to play it on a PS4. So I was kind of waiting for like a current gen console, or I might just have to suck it up and play on PC. And I'm sure I'll still love it on PC. It doesn't feel as natural to me as it would be on console.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't forgotten about you, Elden Ring. I have not forgotten about you.
It's waiting till we get the PS5.
Yeah, which I don't know. Maybe we just break and get an Xbox. I don't know. I don't know.
Speaking of PS5, I saw this meme. It's a parenthood meme that says like, "Oh, I have PS5. It's pain, stress, and 5 hours of sleep." I thought that was funny.
Oh, in that case, we do have
a PS5 now. Not the console, but a PS5.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's it then. I think that's about all that we have going on this week. I would just say, if you don't already know, we stream on YouTube every Tuesdays at 9:30 Central Time on our YouTube channel, KJ After Dark. So if you want to come check us out playing games, usually it's on a cooperative level where we're playing through the same game together, and then we give a review about that game. That'll be in next week's episode. We don't know what game we're going to play yet, but come check it out on Tuesday night. You can come join us, hang out with us over on YouTube. You can also check out our Instagram, like Joanne mentioned.
Yep.
At Instagram.com/KJ_after_dark.
Yeah, give us some likes. click on that follow button.
And if you're watching on Apple Podcasts, throw a rating and a review our way. We would really appreciate that. We do always read out any reviews that we get, so keep that in mind before you write anything, whether that's good or bad, positive or negative. Either way, we will read it out.
Mm-hmm.
You can also check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/KJAfterdark. Follow us there. But that wraps up what we have for you this week.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye.